What's up, Hot Makers? This is Jim, also known as Nerdy J, right here on HotMakes, and welcome, Shannon. How are you doing?
Hello. I'm doing good now. I have a cat that has joined as our guest as well.
Yes. It is guaranteed to bring up viewership anytime you bring on a cat. So I mean, hey, we have a cat in the background.
I'm
I
not
think.
a cat.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Well, I welcome everybody to the show, to another Monday. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Don't forget, at the end of the stream, we'll be giving away a $50 gift card courtesy of Thangs, our sponsor of the show tonight. So stick around and don't forget to register with the link in the description. Also, you'll be seeing the link in the chat as well. So let's get right to it. Shannon, how are you?
I'm good. It's Monday. It's the week before Christmas or the week of Christmas. We're good, right? How are you?
Oh, I'm pumped up tonight. I just finished my adult Kool-Aid, we'll call it. But I'm drinking some bubbly now, so we're good. No, I'm pumped up. I saw your stuff on social media. Andrew S is like, you got to get Shannon on. So I was like, you're absolutely correct. We have to. So thanks, Andrew, for the big push on that one. I appreciate it. But before we get too far, for people just tuning in who might not know you, like, who are you? What do you do? Where can people find you? Let's start there.
Okay, so yeah, hi, I'm Shannon. I'm a cosplayer, and I want to say like most well known for my Iron Man suits, but I do a lot of different stuff. You can find me on most social media under Rona58. I'm currently in Pennsylvania, the very cold state of Pennsylvania. But I'm back and forth between both coasts, so you may know me from LA and you may know me from here.
Nice.
Very
well,
simple.
I'm in Wisconsin, so cold is, might as well
Yeah,
do.
yep.
Do you like bounce back? You said you bounce back and forth between both ones?
It's been a lot more recently. I'm from Pennsylvania. That's where I grew up. I've grown up in Pittsburgh. My
Nice.
whole life has been spent here, but I have family also in Malibu and LA. So it's kind of been, it's been a back and forth type thing. And I have so many friends out in California now. So,
Right. Well, and I know we were talking about last week. Can you talk about where you were last Monday? I think it was Monday, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God, that was a week from today. Wow.
Yeah, that was already a week ago.
So yeah, I hopped on a plane and I went to California for honestly 2 days. Sunday we spent at Universal. I was at Universal with some friends, and then Monday I kind of hung out with some friends that like to do the autograph collecting and stuff.
Sure.
Yeah, and we hung out and we got to witness the Spider-Man premiere in California.
Ooh.
So
that sounds like a lot of fun.
It was crazy. Especially for like, I don't want to say post-COVID because we're not like completely, done, but
sure.
For a gathering like that again, it was a ton of fun to be back to that. Yeah.
I am with you. I miss that kind of stuff. So I owned a DJ business. I own a DJ business. Actually, this was my last year. I said, screw it, I'm done this year. So I just got done with my last weddings, and I'm just like, man, I'm going to miss this. But at the same time, I'm not going to miss not having weekends.
Right.
But I mean, Murph, we were at Murph in the end of June this year. And it was so good to get together with everybody and see everybody again. And I cannot wait for this following year. Hopefully everything calms down again and we get to do that stuff. But I mean, you do some really cool stuff. So you alluded to the Pittsburgh Iron Man, or at least we talked a little bit about it. Let's talk about that for a second, because I know on your social medias, and while you're talking about it, I'm actually going to pull up some pictures. But on your social medias, you talk about it, and it is such a cool idea, and you're like a super fan, right? I mean,
so yes, yeah. I feel like it's a kind of a community thing, honestly, because Pittsburgh is so focused on the sports teams. And I don't know if I know some other cities are they have a brilliant team that they're all in for, but for us, like, all of our teams have the same colors. Our fan base is pretty solid. We tailgate for like a solid day before our games, so it can be crazy. But so that side of it was what appealed to me. I am a huge Penguins fan, the most. But I love the Steelers, the Pirates, everything. Yep. there we go. There's my penguin.
Yeah, I saw that.
So the idea actually came though. I wanted a red and gold suit because I had made rescue and I just wanted, something else, but I didn't really want to do, okay, red and gold because everyone has red and gold. Um, and it actually came because I had talked a little bit with Robert Downey Jr.'s assistant at the time, Jimmy Rich, and he and I kind of became friends just because of the Pittsburgh, connection. He was a big Pittsburgh fan.
Sure.
He loved the Steelers, and Steelers playoffs came around, and he would share fan art of like black and gold Iron Man. So
Nice.
October, not the one that just passed last October. I said, you know what, I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna, instead of the red and gold, I'm gonna do the black and gold suit. So I kind of took the fan art and just rolled with it, and incorporated
Nice.
all of the teams. I don't know.
No, I
That's
mean, that's such
condensed
a cool
version.
idea. Yeah, I mean, and it's, I bet you when you go to a game like this, I mean, people are probably crazy when you're walking around like this. And
So yeah, that one in particular was
yeah,
actually, I did a photo shoot with kids battling cancer
okay,
at PNC Park, and I took a walk around outside, and that's what happens. There's people, especially when I have my
so good.
friends that are like assisting me, and then the moms come up and they're like, "Oh my God, can we take pictures?" And it's really fun.
Right. That is so much fun. So, I mean, how do you make the suits? Do you 3D print them? Do
They
you
are.
what kind of thing do you do?
I started as foam actually, but these
Okay,
ones are all 3D printed.
nice.
So yeah, it was a learning curve. Rescue was my
So good.
first attempt at 3D printing, and it took a while. I have, God, I want to say maybe like 4 or 5 versions of that until I finally finished the one that I have now. This
Nice.
one is only the first version of this, but it does need a repaint. But yeah, everything is 3D printed. I try to use eco-friendly PLA. It's cheap. I'm on a budget, and it's made from recycled materials. So
That is
that's
so
my go.
cool. And Michael Cassell says I designed the two jumbotrons, that jumbotron trailers that sit outside the Penguins stadium. So I
Ah,
imagine you know what he's talking about. But that's really cool. So there you go, tied
that's
in with
awesome.
someone else in the community. No, that's so cool. So what printers are you using? Like, do you have a farm? Do you have a bunch? Do you have just a couple? Like, what
No,
do
okay,
you?
everything I do is honestly on a budget because I don't make money from this.
Sure.
Um, oh, there's Cody's. Yep. That's a
Oh,
whole separate
sorry.
story, but no, I
Oh.
love it. I love looking at these memories. No, so I
There
only
you go.
have one printer and it's an Ender 3 Pro, and when I tell people this, they're like, "Oh my God, how?" So because I've made so many on this one machine, but it's been a beast and I'm
Nice.
I'm fine with it.
Right.
Yeah. I say
Well,
that and then
the
like now it's gonna break.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's an Ender 3 Pro. You can fix it pretty easily. I mean, those things, like, they're solid.
Yeah.
I mean,
I haven't modded
it's
it at all, so it's crazy.
that's awesome. So I
Yeah.
gotta I gotta say that's a good testament to that machine. I know a lot of people in the chat probably have seen, used, or have an Ender 3 Pro still. It's funny. I started in 2018. I started with an Ender 3, not even a Pro,
Mm,
and
mm.
I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And then I got a couple more, and now I have too many. So if you need one,
Okay.
we can hook you up. But I
Awesome.
mean, maybe something with a little larger bed makes things a little bit easier
And
sometimes.
I love to. I'm actually in like a tiny apartment at the moment though, so it's like it's a space thing.
Right.
It's
Oh, I absolutely understand that.
yeah.
So what you're saying is a CR30, so you can just like
No,
chain print.
yeah.
No, this is so cool though. I love seeing it. So you said like everything you do, you say you don't make money from. Do you like donate all your time and stuff to
Um,
nonprofits, that kind of thing, or what do you
well,
usually?
for the most part, like cosplay for me, I just do like conventions, as
Sure.
you can see. But I like to use the Pittsburgh suit, especially to do different charity things. I have a photographer
Nice.
here that I'm trying to do more work with, which hosted those few events at PNC.
Sure.
And I'm kind of just trying to get my name out there right now because it got, I finished it and then it got all this attention and I was like not even completely done with it. So it's
That's
been
so
like
cool.
a process of like having to rush from place to place. So I haven't had a chance to like network, but
Sure.
um yeah, I want to use that one for charity. So anything that I make, I spend my own money on, but I don't have anything really coming in.
Sure.
And usually if I do a commission or something, I'll just put the proceeds back towards charity. It usually goes to
Nice.
something or other that's related to Robert Downey or something. So yeah,
That's so cool. No, that is really
it's
cool.
the
So,
theme.
I mean, I just think that's pretty awesome, and there's not a lot of people out there that do that. So that is so cool. What I mean, do you take the time to like redesign some of the aspects of the suit? Do you print somebody's specific design? I mean, obviously you probably had to fit it to yourself, right? So you had to
Yes.
scale it to yourself. What can you walk me through your like, all right, I'm going to build this suit, but I need to fix these pieces before I do kind of process?
Yeah, so you know what? This one went a lot smoother. So for any of the Iron Man or just rescue or whatever, it fits better to me if I start with the ab section. I feel like that's
Okay.
like the tightest part on me, and it's probably just because I'm a girl. I don't know, but honestly, if I start it there, then I can do the top to make it more proportionate, like to what the actual whole suit's supposed to look like, and not just my size.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, I don't know. I size them to myself. All of the ones that I have right now are files by Johan. 3D print. You know what? I don't know what his Instagram is right now because he actually just started a new one. But if you
I
guys
can
are in the
find it.
3D community, it's Johan's files. But he does a very good job with them. I feel like they're the most user friendly in terms of
Okay.
wearing them. So I've stuck with his.
Nice. What was that, Geary?
I'm looking for the Instagram account.
Yeah, I can find it.
That's okay. That's what I'm here for.
He
I'm
something
actually,
happened. He just made a new one.
oh,
Yeah.
gotcha. So I was actually just pulling up your rescue suit here, so I wanted to share that. So
Yeah.
that's this one right here, right? So it's called
Yep.
Rescue.
That is Rescue. It is Pepper's suit. It was shown briefly in Avengers Endgame.
Nice. And you designed it, you created it that the back piece is open and that kind of thing. So is there like switches to open and shut those, or how does that work?
So right now we're redesigning, my friend and I, because I did this all myself, like in lockdown.
Sure. Sure.
Having no training whatsoever. So it's kind of a mess. The back plate right now has like 4 different battery packs in it and like a ton of
Nice.
wires. Like I don't know how I'm not on fire, let's put it that way. The wings are on 3 different triggers, and then I have a 4th trigger that's a Jarvis soundboard.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah, and I have a lot of people that are like, why isn't it connected to the helmet? But I so many kids ask me to open and close that, and if I had to listen to Jarvis all day, I'd probably go insane.
That's so
But
good.
yeah, they all run
That's so
down
good.
my arm right now though, so I have a trigger on each finger. The two different
Oh,
gloves.
nice.
Yep.
Are they inside the gloves then?
The buttons are, yeah, and then I have connectors at the wrist in my glove, and then again in the back, so
Nice.
that it just like comes
So
apart
you
and runs
inside
down.
the glove, you can press the button. So
Yeah,
you don't
so
have to
it's
like touch something.
yeah, they're just they're glued into my glove, but it's like on the back. So when I go like this,
Oh,
it pulls down. And it'll
got it.
trigger.
That's so
Yeah.
cool. I mean, and you say like, oh, this is such a mess. But this is so awesome because this really defines the maker community, right? This is what we do. We find something awesome that you have a passion for. You build it, and the first time you build it, you're like, I could have done this better. And then you probably rebuild it
Right.
again if you have time. If you're like anybody else, you probably have a couple unfinished projects sitting around, that didn't get done yet or you haven't finished. And I
Right.
mean, it's all a part of the experience as a maker. It looks like here's another cosplay for you.
That was last weekend too. That was before I got on a plane.
Oh, nice. All last weekend, right?
Yeah, that was all makeshift too, and a lot of that is foam actually. I had
Okay,
a shirt, and that's actually a bow that I've used before and just had.
nice.
But all the details are foam, so last
That's
minute
so
crafting.
cool.
This
What
is
are we
my
seeing here?
friend. So that's my friend, Double Take Cosplay. If you guys follow
Okay,
him, he's a Tony cosplayer. And when I was in California in the summer, hung out with him, and we did a whole set of Pepper and Tony photos. So
nice. That's so good. I mean, and you get to do some fun stuff. It looks like here's a quick video of you putting on the suit. So
yes.
how long does this actually take in real time?
Okay, with the people in this video, probably about a half an hour just because of the electronics. It
Whew.
used to be, if it's somebody that doesn't know how to put it on, it takes a while. But they're my
Yeah.
main go-tos. The guy is, his name is Brandon, and he is usually the one taking my pictures. If it's not him, then it's the other one, Amber. And she and
Okay.
I have been friends for like almost 20 years now, I think. So,
That's awesome. That's awesome.
yeah, they're together and they're like my closest friends. And so we just kind of like have this like network now that works together with this thing.
No, that is so cool. And it's all awesome that you have this. There you go. You just see the back plate working.
Hmm.
It's so cool to have the people around you help because it kind of brings like we're doing here, right? In the community. It kind of brings everybody together closer and you guys
Yes.
have fun together and you make those memories.
Hmm.
And it seems like so much fun, that you're having the fun with the cosplay here. And I think, the chat is going crazy, by the way.
I'm
Let us
trying to
know.
read.
Yeah, it's awesome. Let us know if you have any questions. Sarah says, I'm so in awe. Thanks, Sarah. That's the thing is, like, you took this in lockdown and you said, I'm going to do this. When did you start? When did you build your first one? Was it in like last year in lockdown?
My first like all over suit or like one of these?
Yeah. When did you start? Like your first suit ever?
The first like Iron Man suit, because I cosplayed before that, but the first Iron Man suit,
Oh, sure.
I made a really, really awful, to me, foam version of Mark 50 after Infinity War came out. But like I
Okay.
didn't know how to shape foam, so it's very like stiff. I don't know. But it was a good test. And then actually, honestly, like 2 weeks after Endgame came out, when I saw Rescue, I was like sitting at work, like patterning these pieces myself because I just wanted one done.
That's so
And
good.
I made that was my first like one that I think I'm actually like proud of in a sense. That sounds
No,
really
that's awesome.
bad, but you know what I mean? Like I was like, yes, this one is awesome. But it was Rescue and it was 2019 then I think in the spring because that's when that movie came
Nice.
out. Yeah.
That is so cool. So Ed C says, how do you measure each piece so the prints fit you? So like, do you have a model, like a 3D model of yourself, or how does that work? Are you just winging it?
So a lot of builders actually use a program called ArmorSmith that you can buy. I forget how much it is right now. It's not that bad, but it's made for scaling armor. You can put your measurements into that. I started using that, but I don't know. I find it better if I just measure myself. So what I do now is just kind of take like circumference on like 3 different places on each part, and then like the whole length and the width. It's a lot of
Nice.
just detailed measuring, but and a lot of pieces don't fit, so I'll reprint them, and that sucks. But it's trial and error sometimes.
No, that's perfect. I mean, that's what most of us would do, right? I
Yeah.
mean, like, I never heard of ArmorSmith until right now. We've had some amazing cosplayers on, so I'm like, no one's mentioned this before. So, nice finish out on the armor. What is the process? There's a good one.
Oh.
Nice. Marcus is asking.
Lots of sanding.
Oh,
And I'm the crazy person that likes to do the work myself because I'm just weird like that. So I'll hand sand everything and it takes forever.
nice.
Lots of sanding. I'll sand it and then prime it and then sand it again. And yeah, it's just a whole thing. And then after that, I go through like 3 coats of black paint, 3 coats of chrome, and then the color and then the clear coat. So it's like, it takes a very long time to finish it. And I think a lot of people are like, oh, you're done. You'll be done in 2 weeks. But it takes like months.
I think I speak for a lot of us who we hate sanding. Sanding is not a friend. But I've been doing a lot more of that. I got a CNC recently. And this is just something I'm playing with. I just pulled it off right before the stream. So like all the tabs are still on and I haven't broke everything, but basically this is a catch-all. So like you could throw your change in there, your stuff from your pockets or whatever. But a lot of people make like, basic ones. So I was like, I'm going to make something a little different today. And this was just to see if I could do it. This is like the first one I ever designed. The first one I did.
Great.
And I just right before the stream pulled this off. And but speaking of sanding, I have been doing a lot of these boxes. They're hiding back there, but they're like cedar boxes, and for Christmas they light up and stuff. And I've been doing more
Fancy.
sanding in the last like 2 weeks than I have done in way too long.
Right.
But Andrew S says it's glue. It's a guess and glue game with armor. Just throw some glue on it.
Yeah,
you're good.
I mean, it's right though, because I have such a tiny printer, so I do have to kind of put the pieces together in a way. But I weld my pieces too, and I don't know if that's a tip that anybody uses, but I honestly take a soldering iron and put them together that way.
Oh, that's a good one. So you kind of like melt them together.
Yeah, it bonds it pretty well.
Nice. That's a really good idea. Have you ever used like 3D Gloop? Have you ever heard of 3D Gloop?
No, I haven't.
It is let us know in the chat if you guys have used 3D Gloop, but it is a miracle worker with PLA. They have PLA, PETG, ABS, but if you use PLA, that stuff is stupid. It's some kind of chemical bond. And like they have a tug of war at MRF, the Midwest Rep Festival, where like all the 3D printing nerds show up and we all have fun for a weekend. It's all 3D printing all weekend and it's amazing. But they actually have a tug of war where there's like handles that are just like this glued, like looped together, like on the sides. And we have full tug of wars. And it's stupid. You get 10 people like pulling on both. It's crazy how strong this stuff is.
I need to try it now.
I was gonna say we should get you a bottle and just for the heck of it, try it with like a scrap piece and see.
Yeah,
everybody's throwing it in there.
I see that.
To smooth, you can use it to smooth stuff as well, but the bonding agent is absolutely crazy.
Sorry for my dog.
No, that's okay. Like I said, animals instantly up the game. So. I'm actually out in the garage. We built the shop for my stuff here, and so all my animals and my son and all that's inside, so they can't really bother me too much. Otherwise, they usually like climb on the top here.
Yep.
But no, I mean the Gloop is amazing. I see Gloop is awesome. I want to use it, but it's too expensive in the UK. It definitely is expensive to get to the UK.
I feel like that's a lot of things though, like spray paint too. That's a big one.
100%. And like Sarah Johnson says, I will only use 3D Gloop on my PLA. Amen. It just like we have to find you a bottle and have you test it because you might go away from the soldering iron.
I'm excited now.
The soldering iron's fun, but you know, for me, I'll be like, oh no, there goes my whole piece because I just melted half.
Yeah.
But I mean, so we talked a lot about the Iron Man stuff. What time we got? Oh, we got time. We saw some other cosplays, and you said you've done other cosplays before the Iron Man stuff. So what other stuff have you done? We saw Pepper. We saw.
Hawkeye, Kate Bishop from the Hawkeye series. That was new. Pepper's my go-to.
Nice.
Obviously by rescue and everything else, but I've done Nebula, which is like a totally different thing for me because it's like head to toe paint. I've done it's bad because she's blue and purple, so it's like that's a whole different process. I've done Yelena recently from Black Widow. I do a lot of Marvel stuff, but I've done it's either like Marvel or like Downey related for me, I feel like, because I've done like Sherlock characters. So it's like, I don't know. I'm all over the place, but it's usually like superhero focused, and I don't know why. I don't know. That's my thing.
Nice. And it's not just UK, it's expensive to ship too. Here in Australia, it's crazy. Jay is from Sydney, Australia. And I know I've shipped a couple things like prizes to both places, and it's crazy to send stuff.
Yep.
Even like a roll of filament is probably way more than the filament cost by like double. But that's all good. But yeah, I mean, that's so cool for the cosplay stuff. So like on our side, my wife and I have done some of the different let's see, which ones have we done? We did. Well,
it's like now you're in the spotlight, so you can't think of it.
No, I'm thinking of like the ones that are actually out on social media right now, because like there's a bunch of stuff that's not like you might be able to find Plants vs Zombies, which is a super fun thing we did, but my zombie was absolutely disgusting. But I mean, we've done some stuff from a little show called Firefly that some people might know on here. No. But we did a lot of fun with that. So like we did Mal. I don't know if you ever saw Firefly, but it's a lot of fun. She does a couple of the characters on that, and I did one of them because there you go. Because I had fun, and then I didn't want to buy another outfit or put something else together because I already had one, right? But what's super fun about all that is when you go to the Comic Cons and it's your chance to like meet the people that play these characters. And I imagine you do that as well. I mean, I didn't scour through your stuff, but have you ever met Downey then?
Nice. Several times. I haven't like had a chance to actually talk to him yet, which kind of sucks. But every time I've seen him, he's been in like a rushed situation, and I'm just like not the person that's gonna push and like ruin a relationship or anything. And like I totally get that. It's like I wouldn't want to be attacked by people every time you went out anyway. You know what I mean? He last time I saw him was actually on Halloween. He went to the party like that was happening at my aunt's house. Like they have a street party, and like I walked out of my house and was like, hey. It was so weird. Yeah, so I said hi, and that was about it. We took a picture, and then I didn't bother him, but yeah.
Nice. That's awesome. I mean, like, yeah, my aunt parties with Downey. It's okay.
Yeah. It was weird.
That's so cool. No, it is so much fun though, like because we usually go to Chicago Comic Con. That is the closest one to us. There is one in Madison that does get some people there, but it's so small. The best thing about Madison Comic Con is it's so small that if you go like in the morning, there's nobody there. So like all the tables are like no one. You could walk up and talk for forever to people, and there's no one there yet. But a lot of fun. I was dressed up like Mal, one of the characters from Firefly. We went to Chicago and we met. Holy crap! I just totally lost his name. Holy crap! Give me a second. Anyways, it was so much fun because exactly, I feel like a reboot. But what was cool about it is I happened to be in a wheelchair because I got hurt, and we went in and took a picture. He was supposed to take a picture with my wife, and then he took a picture. He's like, I'll take a picture with you two, don't worry. So he took a picture with me because I didn't want to ruin my wife's picture with a wheelchair, right? Aww. And so it was so cool because at the end of the picture, you know how in the Comic Cons they have all the curtains and you line up for if you want to take a picture with somebody, you're in line and you go behind like a curtain, you take your picture and then you walk out. He was on the very end of that, so like on the very far side. And so he's like, just hold on. I was like, cool. And he pushes me out the side in front of everybody, and he's like, "There's only one room for one captain in here," and he just lets me go in my wheelchair, like rolling down. And it was hilarious.
Did somebody film this? You have to tell me somebody filmed this.
I have no idea. We didn't know it was going to happen. So my wife was like, she was already outside of the curtain, and she just saw me go right by her. It was amazing.
That's great. That is an awesome story. That's awesome.
Everybody's saying the best Baldwin is in there, but I mean, it's like those little stories. It's so cool when you meet the people that play the characters, and they're really cool. It really sucks when you meet the people that play those characters and they aren't so cool, and and you like your whole like vision of them just melts, right? It's not the same ever again.
Yeah, and I think that's what I like about specifically Marvel related is everybody that is either in the cast or has worked with the cast or on the movies or whatever that I've met or befriended or anything has been amazing. Like I've had so many connections just from this suit or just from meeting people at conventions or whatever, but the cast included, I have not had a bad experience with any of them, and I love that. It is all of Marvel. It's not just Robert or whatever. So
well, yeah, that's awesome. And we've had, I mean, let's see, who do we meet? The Daredevil. Do you remember the Daredevil series? That was so much fun on Netflix. We got lucky one year, and they're like almost the whole crew or cast was there, so we got to meet all of them. Like the year that it was really big, I think the first year of Daredevil, and so that was a lot of fun. Man, it was just so much fun though. Nathan Fillion, there we go. I had to it was really bothering me because he's in Rookie right now on TV, but
bonus points to you for looking that up.
Yeah. Well, he's like exactly who you think he would be. Like exactly the person he plays on TV. That's like when you meet him.
I've heard that.
Yeah. It's
not from that series, but from other things I've heard that. Yeah.
But yeah, he was a lot of fun. And we met a couple people and they were all really cool. Everyone's saying they have the best Baldwin in Firefly. Absolutely. He actually stood me up and like held me on one leg to take a picture. Alec. And
is this how you wound up in the wheelchair?
Yeah, he got me out of the wheelchair on my good foot and held me there like with his arm, and it was so cool. And I was like, hey, thanks, I appreciate it. Daredevil was never big. I don't know, man. Daredevil was awesome on Netflix. But anyways, we're way off track now. But my whole point was like the whole cosplay thing. It's so much fun because you get to be whoever you want. For the weekend, for a day, for a half a day, however long you can go to some of these things, and everybody else is doing it too. It's not different, you see everything, and sometimes you don't want to see it. So, but it's so much fun. They're having fun, so why not?
It is, and you know what? That was what was nice about being in LA for the Spider-Man premiere as well. So I didn't get to go in as a cosplayer, but they were very limited on that selection this time. But you're just like walking around and like there goes 3 Spider-Mans. Like it's normal, it's fine. So it's like it's even out in public and in certain situations it's fun because you're like these are my people. So it's always an interesting time.
It's so fun. Tripod, you're right. He says I only have one good foot. He only has 1 foot. So I guess it's true. It's true. So when you put your best foot forward, it's all the time.
Yes.
Nice. It's so good. But yeah, I absolutely love it. You miss it. Thanks, Gary. A little late, but I appreciate that. I tried. We miss it. We didn't get to the Comic-Con this year in 2021. And obviously last year they were canceled. I think a lot of them were like through Skype and stuff like that. It was really weird how they did it. What was it, last year? But hopefully next year. My son is going to be, he's a little over a year and a half now. So by the time like we get to next year, I think he'll be a little older. We can have some fun with him dressing up, and I'm so pumped for that.
Fun. That's cute.
It's going to be awesome. He loves Batman already. He's a huge Batman fan, and I can't wait to, maybe he'll be like a mini Batman or something.
That's like the perfect age too.
Yes, it is absolutely a blast. All right, what time we got? Holy crap, it's already 36 after. I think we should check out some HotMakes. So HotMakes are stuff that the awesome things that the community has submitted, and they usually jump on Twitter. They use the hashtag of HotMakes, and they shoot stuff over to us, and we get to check out as much as we can. So I know this week, I really appreciate everybody out there. There was a ton of submissions this week. I broke them down. I think we only have like 10 or 11. We're going to try to rock them and see what happens. But I am super pumped for you to see some of the things that the community is doing, because I mean, you seem to give back to the community so much, and that's, I mean, this show is all based around talking to the community, giving back, and showing off, their stuff. So a lot of them love your stuff. So let's see what you think.
Let's do it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here's some HotMakes. All right, so the first thing comes to us from Chris Travis. I think Chris said he was here, but cooking, so maybe he's still listening.
He literally just stopped back in.
Perfect timing.
Really good. Yeah, he literally just messaged in the chat that he's back.
Oh, nice. Oh, you know what? I see that right there. Nice. Well, this is Chris Travis's Flexi Frog by the Flexi Factory on Colts 3D. And
oh my God, it's so cute.
Yeah, I think you're right. This is such a cool model. I've not printed a flexi frog yet, so I might have to get that on my list of stuff to print. Looks like Jesse Limer Green PLA from Printed Solid, and it was printed in place with no supports. Do you get to print much like fun stuff like this, or is it all business all the time?
I see these kinds of things. I know there was like a dragon going around and some other stuff that's like flexible, and I want to, but like I just don't. I don't really have the time to. But they always look so fun. Like that's a new one. I haven't seen that one before.
Yeah, I haven't seen the frog either, and I really like it. I think I'm gonna have to print this and let the little guy play with it. Pooch is with us. How you doing, Pooch? That's like my top 5 favorite frogs. Nice. What are your other 4 favorite frogs?
I know. I didn't know there was a list of favorite frogs, but I'm very interested in finding this out now.
Wait, should we do like a frog tier list next episode?
Pooch's favorite frogs. You'll see it next week. Right here.
America's top frog.
Yeah, America's top frog. I love it. So good. Pooch used to be a co-host on HotMakes here, and so it's awesome when he jumps in and comments. What do we got next? So Chris Travis, nice work. This one was like a huge work in progress. I'm going to start at the top. It looks like John. I'm going to go with John. There's 10 hours to go. This is a print. It's the Great Master Sword by DD. Isn't it 3D printing roll? Am I crazy? Yeah, 3D printing roll. Okay. And he does these awesome print in place like swords and all sorts of stuff where you print them and they flip out like the toys. You can throw them out, So this is kind of the progress that he did with that. And the really cool thing is, there we go. So this is it's multicolored on this one, and this one looks super good. So like I said, it's one of those, like it's collapsible. So you can like flip it out and then collapse it in when you're done. And,
it reminds me of like the toy lightsabers because like that's what existed when I was a kid.
Well, actually he does those. So he has many versions of those lightsabers. And they print great on an Ender 3 Pro, trust me. One of the first cool things I ever printed that was like that was on my Ender 3. But yeah, super cool print. I love the multicolor, and the length is awesome on this thing too. Nice work.
Yep. That's very clean.
Nice work. All right, what do we got next here? This was wonderful engineered kinetic sculpture by Casey Curran. Let's see if I can blow this thing up so everybody can see it a little better. So he's going to turn like a crank down here, and it does all sorts of that's just so cool.
My brain is not going to comprehend this, but I love it. I like that. I would play with it all day though, and it would probably break in about an hour.
It's like a fidget toy. You just like
yes.
I think this is one of those things that I could watch forever.
Yes, it's like oddly satisfying.
Nice. Everybody's like, wow. Yeah, just super cool. Such a cool print, and I don't even know if it's printed, to be honest. It is kinetic. It's art, so it might not even be printed.
I don't care what it is. I want it.
Hey, there's a dragon. But yeah, this is so cool. It's amazing.
Yeah.
At the same time. I could see that. Andrew Smith says, I saw it and thought it was a 3D print bunny. That is awesome. She is a phenomenal with really cool moving stuff too. Did he make it or buy it? I think he made this, but I could be completely wrong. I just know it was tagged, and we don't know a lot about.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's a lot of retweets and stuff, but just not a lot of, about it. But nice work. All right, next. This is also not 3D printed. Oh, geez. Oh, let's see. Can you hear that? Did that blow everybody's eardrums out?
No, I muted your computer feed for that exact reason.
That was crazy for a second there. All right. I love how this marvelous thing is made and just bolts and scrap metal welded together. So this, here you go. Yes.
Huh. I want that too.
another thing that I could just sit and watch.
Yes. But
a
I feel
cool
like I'd
idea.
sit there and I'd be like, how long can I make this go?
Yes.
It would be a
You could time
challenge.
it. Yeah. That would be awesome. Just time it. Like you could make it a party, like a drinking game, you know.
Oh, that's dangerous.
Yeah. Sarah says earlier, no, I have no words how fantastic this thing is. My new passion is hunting down that kinetic thing. 100% agree. Don't forget, in the description of the video of the stream right now, there is a Google Doc that has episode 84, all of the stuff. It's a big link dump of everything that everybody tagged, including everything that you see here. And I cleaned it up a little, get rid of duplicates mostly and stuff like that. But everything that people have tagged, you can find in that doc. Finally, Functional says, neat. Yeah, this thing is, so, here.
It looks like the physics engine.
So good.
It looks like the physics engine for life is just glitching.
Oh man, I love it. Those metal things were huge in the 70s. Yeah, it's basically what I look running around the shop every day. I could see that. Speaking of CR30s, he has a wall of them, and he doesn't have any catches under him, so he just runs around and catches stuff falling. Oh no, I'm just joking.
Oh my god. See, I'm gonna say something that reminds me of, and I'm gonna like sound really old, but I'm not, and I'm sorry to anybody that this offends with that statement, but that gave me like flashbacks to playing like the original Atari, like Kaboom, where you go back and forth and catch them. You know what I'm talking about?
That's so good.
Wow.
Oh man, and
like
you don't
childhood
sound old
memories.
At all saying that. Yeah, you definitely don't sound old at all. Saying, I bet a bunch of people in the chat will blow you up on that one because that was a fun game. But you're right, it does. It's like, yeah, good point.
Yeah.
He actually has catches underneath them, but it's fun to say. What do we got next? Oh, the gingerbread destroyer. Yes,
I saw that earlier. I think maybe
cool.
yesterday. I don't know. I swear to you, I've seen this.
This was tagged. Let's see. I think the other day.
I love it.
But yeah, the gingerbread destroyer. You gotta love it. I bet it tastes great too. Everybody's
a lot of work.
That.
You think that was put together with 3D glue?
Oh,
yeah,
God.
I hope not, because, well, maybe. I mean, so something like this would be so much fun and so much work to do.
I've built like gingerbread houses, like standard houses before that come with like the instructions, and it's not been a strong suit. So like this is outstanding.
Mine looked like a 2-year-old dumped a bunch of frosting and then like stuck something together.
Oh my God. And then like 10 minutes into it, I just get irritated and I'm like, this is your house now, gingerbread. This is what it is. You don't have a roof.
Mine usually just goes. So good. Don't get in the water. Yes. We're gonna bring up the water thing. Thanks, guys. All right, here we go. This was a friend of the show, Tim O'Sullivan, has been added again. So Tim O'Sullivan he's an amazing prop maker. He does a lot of Star Wars stuff. He's been on the show a little while ago. Geary knows him very well. But here's another fun thing that he did.
One of the coolest guys ever. He was on episode 59 of HotMakes.
You just rattled that off. Like, I don't even remember last
I have
week.
multiple things on the computer.
This is true.
My CPU is a neural net processor, a learning computer.
I love it. Well, this is awesome. Nice work, Tim. This thing looks great. I love how he used the krill. He used like clear acrylic or something underneath to hold it
they're
up.
Mirrors. Also, I want to point out, we haven't talked about him in a while. That Yoda that's in there, fully animatronic, fully self-built. It's all 3D printed, like, mechanisms. And he designed and cast his own, like, silicone head and everything. Like, he made the mold for it and everything.
Huh.
Like,
I want to point out that
1000%
dog is
scratch
pretty
built.
chill.
No,
yeah. The dog is pretty chill. There's just a floating.
I know, right?
And I'm just gonna lay here and watch it.
No, that's really cool though. Yeah. I love when anything is just like completely made from scratch, because I feel like a lot of people, especially with 3D print, that don't know 3D print are like, oh, you just printed that, you didn't do anything. But like when you get down to it and every little piece is 3D printed, well, that's crazy. That's a lot of detail.
Here you go.
I love that.
Let's see. So I just programmed that. Who just said this? Dubbed Out said that Geary needs a voice upgrade. So I'm going to do that right now. So I have just posted the command for the Geary voice upgrade. We tested it before the show. And now Geary is going to have a new voice next time he talks. Anyways, what's next? Nice work, Tim, by the way. I love all your stuff, man. He has just some amazing stuff. We need to get Tim and the real Sam Prentice together, because those two would be amazing talking to each other, because Sam Prentice does the droids like R2-D2s, and he has them in the movies. So good. All right. What do we got next? I don't know what time it is. Holy crap. Finally done with my Christmas ornaments for this year. Most were printed on the HotMakes resin 3D printer. It is such a good print, you can't even see them. There you go. I'm not sure what that was, but there you go. So very cool stuff in resin. Do you do any resin printing? I think you said you had the Ender 3. So
yeah, I don't, but we have a maker space here locally that a couple of my friends go to, so I kind of hang out with them. They have a resin printer there that they use, so I can kind of like see the process, but I haven't actually used one yet.
They're a lot of fun. If you get a good system down, it's not too bad being messy. It is always going to be messy and all that stuff. But if you have a good system down, it's not so bad. And you can create some amazing detail too. So that's the fun. But nice work on the ornaments. I love the, all the different styles here.
I love the color.
Yeah.
Like it's so detailed and color. Yeah. The colors and the details are.
And it looks like he included
cool.
the printers.org files where you can get them. So that's cool too. So nice work. Nice work. All right. What we got next here? Ethan's daddy's with us. Marcus is with us. Sneak peek at a project he was talking about on Jerry's stream, or with Astro Printer, it looks like. So this is a really cool thing. I'm just going to play this through. So
okay, yes. You had me there.
That was so good.
That's awesome.
And
oh, there's more.
Whoa, look at that.
There's more.
So that's a mini Joel, and that was a nerd. That's a mini Jim. That's a mini Jim right there. I have to point that out. That mini Jim made it in the cube. Thanks, Marcus. I appreciate that. So. I like to joke that I hit the pinnacle of my YouTube career when Wexter made a mini gym of me. I mean, I can't go anywhere from there. So
no, that's awesome. But like now I have to that's a new goal of mine. I have to have a miniature version of myself before I succeed.
See, there's a mini gym, and if you turn it, it turns into Joel. I mean,
that's so cool.
So good. I thank you so much, Marcus. That's really cool. Geary, are you done with your voice upgrade yet?
I'll take that as a no.
Geary went offline. Geary has officially gone offline. I might have accidentally screwed up my code. He's eerily silent right now, which is scary. All right, what do we got next? Possibly my favorite thing I've ever made, Nintendo Switch ornament. This is a 240 by 135, 1.14.
I'm sorry, is that working? There is video.
Yeah, here you go.
That is so cool.
I think it just plays it. I don't necessarily know that you can play it.
Man, I'd be sitting there with the mini version.
Oh,
that's so fun.
On this little tiny baby screen, right? Such a cool thing.
That's great.
Nice work on that little screen. There we go.
I'm like in awe of all this stuff right now.
It's so cool how the community makes like just incredible things. It like we'll put it this way. I met up with Shane, a guy from our area, and I had a laser, and I said, "Hey, you want my laser?" He said, "Sure." And he actually met up with me, and he gave me this. This is a Christmas tree topper. We have lost Geary. I don't know what just happened. Geary has gone offline.
Bye.
Bye, Geary. Yeah, but here, let me do this. So
You've
this
been kicked
is,
off the island.
This is the mini Jim, not so mini Christmas tree, Hawaiian Christmas tree topper. I
Yes.
think, and he painted it green. So last week we talked about. Have you ever heard of a Christmas pickle? Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So last week I said print mini Jims in green, call it the Christmas pickle, and hide it in your tree and see if people notice, right? And so he shows up to pick up the laser, and he has this. So this
I don't
is
know that you can hide it, but
you wouldn't be able to hide this. You definitely wouldn't be able to hide. But he added
it's cool.
this around here, like the wreath or the lei, whatever you want to call
Yeah.
this thing. I'm not sure. Let me know, Shane, if you're here. Is this supposed to be a wreath or like a Hawaiian lei? I'm not sure. But it like goes on the Christmas tree, and I'll have to post some pictures. I threw them on the Christmas tree, and my wife came down and she's like, "No." So I got overruled. I said, "What if I make it light up? Does that help?" And she's like, I like my star. Can you please put it back?" So
see, I'm on your side with that. Like, I have an Iron Man helmet on top of my tree right now.
Yeah, well, I agree with you, and I'm gonna have to go sneak it back up there while she's not looking. But I thought this was really cool. Thank you so much, Shane, for that. But like stuff like this, we just said let's do it, and then people like bam done, and it's just crazy
Dedication.
Ed made a mini Jim ornament, so he put like a round hook in my head, and oh crap. I might have screwed up the upgrade. It looks like Gary went to Gary.
Gary's in the recycle bin now.
Uh-oh. Now we're in trouble.
I'm Gary. Your new AI.
Oh, boy.
Great. You sound just peachy.
I'm having a fantastic day.
Thanks. I appreciate that, guys. I dubbed out. This is your fault. Anyways, Chris Russell, I know we're short on time. This is your last chance. Hit that link, get signed up for the giveaway. We're going to do it soon. I don't want to go too much over because I don't know how much time Shannon has.
I'm good, but whatever you want to do.
All right. Sounds good.
It's Monday. I don't have plans.
Nice. What the heck? I know I was following Dan. He was on the show last week. That's weird. Anyways, Chris Russell, practical printing, doing some testing of a new version of Fix 'em Dude's Snowflake TIE Fighter, and making it specifically for resin. So here's another resin. So Fix 'em Dude, who's with us right now, came up with there you go, the Snowflake TIE Fighter. And it looks like practical printing. Chris Russell adapted it so you could print it in resin. And this looks absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah. These resin prints are just something else because the level of detail that you can do.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree. Now here's something. Chris, if you're watching, I'm disappointed because there's not a banana for scale. So I have no idea how big is this thing, like regular size, or is it mini, bigger? There is a HotMakes banana out there for scale if you ever want to use it.
You want a banana?
Yes, thanks, Gary. Gary, what do you think of this? Uh-oh. He has gone silent. Man, Gary is scary. He's mad, apparently. I might have to go back and put that code back in. All right. Anyways, nice job, Chris. His print is so good that Prusa rocks. Yes. That is 100% true. All right. What do we got next? Gary is going through some changes. I'm not sure if it's Gary or Gary anymore, so we're just gonna keep rocking. What just happened?
I got nothing.
What just happened?
I don't know.
I don't know. I was minding my own business, and then next thing I know, I'm in the recycle bin.
Well, I tried to upgrade your voice, and that's what I get. Willow is another. Have you ever seen Willow Creative?
Maybe. I'm not see, okay, if you're on like Instagram, I'm gonna say yes. My Twitter base is kind of just like Marvel fan things. So
No, that's okay. So Instagram, she is on Instagram, Willow
okay. I
Creative.
probably
If
have
you
seen
have
something
time.
or other.
Absolutely phenomenal at the stuff she does as well. And in this case, she had to make a rock so she could use it as a prop, a piece in
Oh,
a product
okay.
placement. So she's going to be in her werewolf costume in a commercial soon. So
Awesome.
she had to start from scratch and make a rock to stand on. So she actually
Huh.
made, make this for her commercial that she's going to be in soon. And it's kind of a fun, like she starts at the beginning here with, just kind of a frame and then, a box that looks like over the top and then starts placing foam. Like you were talking about using foam.
Mhm.
And then the spray foam, which that stuff's amazing. It does some really cool stuff. I have been using that a lot on a project over here. And then you can really make that look like rock, right? And then
Yeah,
she throws the moss on and the paint and
the
just
detail.
if you have time, jump into Willow Creative's Instagram. You'll
Definitely.
see some crazy stuff. You'll probably oh, she's my best friend already.
Yeah, so Willow's in the Netherlands, but she does a insanely cool Samus costume from Metroid.
Okay.
So, like, if there's ever a chance that you guys could collab, that would probably be really. She's also printing all of her stuff in a small apartment, so
Yeah,
similar situation.
Perfect.
Yes, similar situation, and she she has a lot of printers packed in that little apartment too.
If I didn't have two animals, like I probably would do the same, but it's a
I
little
hear
crowded in here. I'm being stared at by like a dog on this side and then my cat over here as I speak. So
Nice. They're like, what are you doing?
Mhm.
Nice. Awesome. Well, that was our hot makes this week. What'd you think?
I don't get to see these kind of things, so I'm like processing it all. But I love the resin. I love the attention to detail on all of it, because it's so different from what I'm usually making. So it's fun to see like the other kinds of things that you can print, because my mind's always focused on like, oh my god, bulky armor, big pieces, 20-hour prints. So
Right.
yeah.
So something we didn't ask earlier. What do you print? Do you like 0.03 or what size nozzle and what layers do you use when you do your stuff?
No, everything is stock still. So what is it, 4, I think?
0.04.
Mhm. And what, like my settings?
But what layer height? You're using that nozzle, so
like literally everything is stock. The only things I've changed, because I use Cura, so whatever their PLA settings are, I've changed like the speed and a couple other little things like retention. But it depends on the filament, but I'm usually printing at like 85 speed.
Oh, nice. Well, I mean, I have to say real quick, that is so cool that you're just like, that's stock settings.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about this when I started, and forever I'm like, I want an Iron Man suit that I wasn't satisfied with the foam. And it's funny because my parents actually bought me a 3D printer for Christmas. That's how this started. And so I had to figure it all out myself and was like, you know what? If it's not broken, I'm not going to fix it. Because I have read horror stories, especially when you're like in these groups and people, the first thing that they want to do is like, what kind of cool mods can I do? And then like a week later, they're like, it doesn't work. I'm done with it. So I'm like, I don't want that headache. If it breaks, I'll deal with it. But
100%. And I when I got my first Ender 3, I did this. I was like, man, what do I need? Like, let's look at it all. And the problem with that is when you've never done 3D printing before, is that you don't learn your printer enough before you do it to know what you break when you do it. So then like all of a sudden you do, 5 different things at one time and you're like, well, this isn't printing good. What could be causing this? But you don't know enough to know that it could be the extruder because you didn't calibrate your E-steps and you.
I love that though, because like I have no idea what I'm doing with it, and then I can now, if it does break, like you said, like I can be like, okay, this is what it is. But it was such a learning process. I was so angry at it a few times, and it's funny because now I'm like, I can do this. I got this. I don't care what it is. I can fix it, and that has extended to like other things. Like I had my shower break a couple weeks ago, like the shower head, and I was like, I got this. I'm a mechanic now.
Actually, I'm gonna 3D print it right now. Here
you probably could.
I 100% agree with you, and I think that learn your printer, give it a couple months, get it printing really good, and then start with like the printable upgrades, and then go to like more stuff if you want to, because like it's so much fun to print your upgrades on a printer you're learning on how to use, right? So
yeah.
I mean, what a great way to start is printing parts for the printer you're using. I did not follow that direction in the beginning because I didn't know that direction. And now, like, I have a bajillion videos out there on how to upgrade this thing, but I will tell you first, use it for a couple months first, and then see where you go from there, because you're absolutely correct. Then don't change more than one thing at a time. Correct. Yes. I got like, I jumped onto a site and I was like, order everything before the printer was even here, you know, and then I was like, what is this not working for? But all right, we're going to pull up the wheel. I know we had some great entries, so let's get them in the wheel. Ladies and gentlemen, this is for a $50 Amazon gift card courtesy of Thangs. Thanks. Thank you so much for sponsoring the episode tonight. You've been sponsoring this since like April. We definitely appreciate all of the sponsorships every single week. And you know, thank you so much for that. So here we go. Woo! Dan! Congratulations, Dan. I promise this isn't rigged. He was our guest last week. So
oh, that's okay.
That's so good. Spin it. Yes. Congratulations, Dan. I think Dan's with us. I hope he is. Otherwise, you have to be here to win. Dan, yes. He just printed some mini gym ornaments, so we got to send him more filament for that. Come on, Dan. Let's see it. There he is. Hey, congratulations. He's in his other account, but we'll give it to you anyway. Congratulations, Dan, on $50 to Amazon, courtesy of Thangs. And Thangs again. Thank you so much again. I know we're a little bit over. We're like 5 minutes over, but how about before we go, how about you tell everybody one more time, like who you are, what you do, where we can find all your awesome stuff, and any way out there to support you. How do we do that?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, my name's Shannon again, Shannon Rona. And you can find me. I have a website that's shannonrona.com. Any of my social media is usually srona58. Twitter's a little different, but yeah, follow me on Instagram. Instagram, TikTok, I want to say are the big two. I have a Facebook page, I have Twitter, you know, whatever. Anything that you guys have questions on, you can definitely reach out and I'll try to help, but I really don't know what I'm doing either, so bear with me.
You're having fun. That's all that matters, right? You're having fun. So is there any way out there to support you? Like, do you do PayPal, Patreon, any of those?
Yeah.
Is it on your website?
If it's not, I can put it on there. I have a Ko-Fi set up, and I think it's paypal.me/srona58, and Ko-Fi should be, you know, srona58 as well. Everything's kind of under that same tag, so but I don't like to advertise it because I don't like asking people for things.
Hey, you're not asking, you're just saying, hey, it's out there just in case. But I think you do some really cool stuff. I mean, I really appreciate you coming on the show. Andrew, again, thank you so much for saying, hey, dummy, you need to get her on the show. And I really do. You're doing some awesome stuff. You're doing some amazing like charity work with your suits and with your cosplays. And, you know, that's what our whole community, the whole 3D printing community is so cool like that. Everybody is so willing to help and give and all that stuff. And you're definitely a part of that. So thank you so much for all of that you do as well. But thank you. Thank you for coming on. That. I know. Yeah. Hey,
that's so nice. Thank you.
It's true. It's so cool to see at the you know, at the different, like you said, the cancer event and stuff like that, because a lot of people probably wouldn't take the time to do that, and you put a lot of time into your suits, and it's awesome to see that you do that. So again, thank you for being here. Everybody else, I'm looking at the chat. I'm pointing at the chat. I'm not sure why I'm pointing at the chat, but
No, I
everybody
get
else,
that because
thank
you just want to be like, yes, guys.
I know, right? Like, hey, but everybody else, thank you guys so much for joining us. Another Monday night right here on HotMakes, 6 p.m. Central. We'll see you next week. We have a special one next week. We're going to do kind of a fun year in review, like, you know, check everything out we did, have a lot of fun with that. I'm probably going to bring Geary. We'll bring Geary on as a guest. We'll see who else shows up. I'm not sure who's going to show up. So have fun with that. We'll just hang out, chill, and check out the last however many episodes we did. I mean, we're on 84. So I don't remember what this year started as, to be honest. So we'll have to check all of them out. We're going to have some fun clips, and we can maybe talk about our fun moments, and you guys can tell us what you guys like. But show up next week, 6 p.m. Central, right here on HotMakes. It looks like we have another visitor, so we better get out of here before he takes over. But thank you again for being on the show. Hang out right there. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with you. Everybody else, have a great night. We'll see you next week. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
Our time is up. I can't kill you, but I won't have you standing in my way.